call him the cloth bag and the top. Budai Volcano sent troops and asked him for advice on Buddhism. What is Buddhism? He put the cloth bag in the ground, under both hands. Well, everyone knows what to do after this direction is put down. He didn't speak. He pulled up the cloth bag, and BZ walked away. This line of sight has a deep meaning. He can see through it and put it down. After seeing through it, he can still lift it up. What did he mention?
Suffering loss is a blessing, great wealth and nobility. Where do they come from? They come from enduring losses. They come from being deceived. They certainly do not come from taking advantage of others. Those who take advantage are very clever, but in the end, their cleverness backfires on them. Why is that so? They must descend into the three evil paths. They must repay their debts. To take life is to owe a debt of life. Debts must be repaid. Not a single bite or sip is outside of destiny. Even Emperor Li Shimin said, a life taken must be repaid with life. A debt owed must be repaid with money. Even as an emperor, he could not escape this law. The truth is indeed true, not a shred of falsehood, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Freedom over life and death. A true practitioner can attain complete mastery over life and death, able to depart at will, free from all attachments and hindrances. Whether their lifespan has ended or not, they remain perfectly at ease. Even if their time has not yet come, they can choose to be reborn in the Pure Land ahead of schedule. If their allotted time has come, yet they wish to remain in this world to demonstrate the Dharma, Amitabha Buddha rejoices deeply in this intention and will extend their life. We believe this wholeheartedly and without the slightest doubt. Elder Master Hai Xian lived to the age of 112. That was not his originally destined lifespan. It was extended by Amitabha Buddha. This was personally explained by the elder himself. He had seen Amitabha Buddha, very likely more than once. Each time, he expressed the wish to be received into the Pure Land, but the Buddha told him, the time and causes have not yet matured. You must remain in this world to demonstrate the Dharma. What Dharma was he demonstrating? To let the world know. The compiled version of the Pure Land Sutras by layman Xie Lianju is authentic and true scripture, not a fabrication. They can help us break free from delusion and attain enlightenment. To achieve this, we must cultivate discipline, meditation, and wisdom. Discipline leads to concentration. Concentration leads to enlightenment. Once enlightened, it becomes the practice of samantabhadra. We are currently at the stage of ordinary beings, lost in our true nature. Our practice does not align with our innate virtue. The 41 levels of attainment, they have let go of arising thoughts, because are movements of the mind. When there is no arising of thoughts or movements of the mind, how can there still be hierarchies? Where do hierarchies come from then? Hierarchies are all born from the arising of thoughts and movements of the mind. When there is no arising of thoughts, movements, where would hierarchies come from? Gratitude, true gratitude. No matter what great disasters I encounter, I remain unaffected. Bodhisattvas come to test me to see if I have truly let go, to see if I am still tainted, to see if I am truly pure. Therefore, years ago, when I was in the United States, I saw 2 lines in a sutra. Every day is a good day. Every moment is a good time. I added 2 more lines. Everyone is a good person. Everything is a good thing. Not a bit of it is false. In this world, there are no evil people. Even demons and ghosts who come to me are all bodhisattvas. So, the environment changes with the mind. As for ordinary people are pitiable and deluded. Their minds change with the environment. That's a mistake. When your mind changes with the environment, you may fall into the Avicii, hell. When the environment changes with your mind, you can attain Buddhahood and become a bodhisattva. Strictly speaking, time, like space, is not real. It is merely an abstract concept, a projection from within your own consciousness, manifesting as different experiences. When we are in suffering, each day feels like a year, but in moments of joy, time seems to fly by. True wisdom lies in enlightenment. To attain enlightenment, one must encounter the Buddha. One must hear the Dharma without meeting the Buddha or hearing the Dharma. How could one possibly awaken? In this world, people often endure deep injustice. They can't hold back their anger. They can't swallow it, and the suffering feels unbearable. But in truth, this anger is an illusion. It's not real. There's no need to force it down. Just let it dissolve naturally. It's nothing at all. Why cling to it so stubbornly? All mistakes stem from attachment. stubborn, unyielding attachment that refuses to let go. The Buddha teaches us to let go. He shows us how to let go by setting an example for us. Only in China is Maitreya Buddha depicted as the laughing Buddha, Buddhai monk. This symbolism is truly meaningful. He is placed at the entrance of temples, right in the middle of the Heavenly King's hall. On both sides of him are the 4 heavenly kings serving as Dharma protectors. Maitreya, positioned at the centre, conveys a profound message. Upon entering the gates of Buddhism, one must have a broad mind and the capacity to embrace everything. The laughing Buddha's big belly symbolises his ability to tolerate and embrace all things, while his joyful smile represents boundless compassion and happiness. Let us learn from Maitreya Buddha's wisdom to smile warmly and embrace all with an open heart. Have I been disturbed by external circumstances today? I think many people have never thought about this question. If you do think about it, you might feel terrified. Why is that? Because there has been no progress. Every day is wasted. How can this be acceptable? When others praise you, you feel happy. You are influenced by them. When others slander you, you become angry. How can you have no control over yourself at all? Being swayed by external circumstances. This is samsara. Every day you are caught up in samsara. A mind trapped in samsara creates karmic actions of samsara. The resulting consequences are nothing but more samsara. How terrifying this is. If you do not understand the true nature of reality, you cannot raise your sense of vigilance. Many people knew about the achievements of lay Buddhist Liu Suyun. She has no other special abilities. Her strength lies in her high level of vigilance. The arising of thoughts is ignorance and affliction. Ignorance refers to the state of not knowing. It arises from a single, unawakened thought. This is known as alaya. The storehouse, consciousness, discrimination, refers to afflictions as numerous as dust and sand. Dust and sand serve as a metaphor for the countless afflictions. From morning till night, we are consumed by deluded thoughts. These delusions are boundless and endless, arising one after another, truly resembling dust and sand. The metaphor of dust and sand aptly illustrates their multitude. The most severe affliction, attachment. Attachment is known as view and thought afflictions. It represents our views and perceptions about the universe, life, and all phenomena. This is the most severe form of affliction. The cycle of samsara is created by these afflictions. Once the view and thought afflictions are eliminated, the 6 realms of samsara disappear. What is samsara like? In Buddhist scriptures, samsara is compared to illusions, dreams, bubbles, and shadows. Thinking is wrong. No thinking is also wrong. Only when both are gone, that's the true mind. This is why Pure Land practice is so profound. It clears everything away, but leaves one name, Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha is the true mind. Amitabha is right, mindfulness. So much easier to hold on to, because when the mind has absolutely nothing, we feel uneasy, we can't do it. If everything's gone, we fall into the samadhi of no thought. But even then, there's still the idea of no thought. That's still clinging. Thinking is wrong. No thinking is also wrong. Replace no thought with Amitabha Buddha, and that's the right path. This is the Pure Land's supreme, unsurpassed method. When one is entangled in matters of personal gain and loss, one's vision becomes clouded. This is called delusion. It is not the true mind. The true mind is free from such distractions. If you can eliminate these delusions, your true mind will naturally emerge. Then everything will be clear. Everything will be understood. When you study the wisdom of the ancients, you are actually witnessing your own innate nature. What makes it so precious? It is not an invention. It is not a creation. That is why, when I read the Analects, I deeply admire these words of Confucius. I transmit rather than create. I am faithful and fond of the ancient. Confucius spent his life neither inventing nor creating. Yet, in today's world, people constantly seek novelty, striving for innovation and invention. Confucius did not. He placed his faith in the wisdom of the ancient sages, cherishing their teachings, for he understood that the wisdom of the ancients is none other than the manifestation of our own true nature. But Westerners, too, possess the wisdom of the East. Why is that? For 5,000 years, our Chinese ancestors have taught human nature is inherently good. As long as one is human, one has a heart. This truth at birth, human nature is inherently good. Knows no distinction. It transcends nationality, beyond Chinese or foreigner. It transcends time, beyond ancient or modern. The word shan Goodness carries profound depth. Within it lies great perfection, the perfection of wisdom, the perfection of virtue and ability, the perfection of noble appearance. What the Buddhist scriptures say is absolutely true. Our relationship with Shakyamuni Buddha is not that of a god and his worshippers, but that of a teacher and his students. That's why we call him our fundamental teacher, Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha earnestly taught us to take Amitabha Buddha of the Western Pure Land as our true teacher. In the future, when we're reborn in the Pure Land, we can draw close to Amitabha Buddha and learn directly from him. This is the heartfelt guidance of Shakyamuni Buddha. Layman Xia Lianju's compiled edition is truly authentic. This is the genuine Dharma. It deserves our deep respect and should be studied with utmost sincerity. Layman Huang Lianzu's commentary is extremely rare and extraordinary. He uses sutras to verify sutras and draws from the teachings of great patriarchs to explain the Pure Land tradition to us. This helps us understand the land of bliss and Amitabha Buddha more deeply, so that true faith and aspiration can arise in our hearts. With faith and aspiration, the conditions for rebirth in the Pure Land are fulfilled. Just as Master Oyi said, rebirth depends entirely on whether we have faith and aspiration. He made this very clear.
If someone claims to be a Buddha or Bodhisattva reborn, there is a strict rule in Buddhism. Once their identity is exposed, they must leave this world immediately. If they stay, it's false. It's not real. Take Maitreya Bodhisattva, the cloth-bag monk. What was his surname? What was his name? No one knows. Ancient records state that before passing away, he revealed his true identity, Maitreya Bodhisattva, reborn. Then he left this world. This is real, not a lie. One ought to regard Amitabha Buddha of the Western Land of ultimate bliss as one's teacher. In time to come, one shall be reborn in the Pure Land and draw near to Amitabha Buddha. This is the instruction imparted by Shakyamuni Buddha. We hearken unto this teaching in its entirety and accept it. In doing so, the Buddhas rejoice. Shakyamuni Buddha is likened unto our compassionate parent, who earnestly exhorts us to seek rebirth in the Pure Land that we may study under this teacher. If we are obedient and truly go, our spiritual parent rejoices indeed. With such an excellent teacher to guide and instruct, one is assured of attainment. Thus is it clearly understood. This is the way of the teaching, not the way of the gods.
The level of one's rebirth in the Pure Land depends on the depth of one's practice in reciting Amitabha Buddha's name. It's not about quantity, but about how deep your practice truly is. How is the depth of practice measured? It lies in the strength of your faith and the sincerity of your aspiration. If you believe completely, without the slightest doubt, your practice is deep. If you still have some doubts, or still feel attachment to this world, then your practice is shallow. If you can truly let go of this world and wholeheartedly focus on the Buddha's name, your practice becomes deep. We should aim for deep practice and a vast, unwavering aspiration. Let us align our hearts with the Buddha's heart, to be of one mind with Amitabha Buddha. Let our vow be the same as his vow. Let our actions follow his actions. Amitabha Buddha recites Amitabha Buddha every day. We recite one Amitabha Buddha, but Amitabha Buddha recites for all sentient beings throughout the Dharma realm and the vast cosmos, seeing every being as Amitabha Buddha. This is called Amitabha Recites Amitabha. This is what Layman Xia Lianju taught us in the Essential Guide to Pure Land Practice, Jingxiu Jiayao. They can all be summarized as appearances that arise from the gathering and uniting of countless beings and countless conditions. These phenomena are classified into 10 broad categories. All 10 categories, without exception, are the result of the coming together of conditions. This includes Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Shravakas, hearers, Prajika Buddhas, solitary realizers. It also includes the beings of the 6 realms, heavenly beings and humans, asuras, jealous demigods, and those in the hell realm, the realm of hungry ghosts, and the realm of animals.
Everything arises through the coming together of countless conditions. Therefore, when Buddhism speaks about the origin of the entire universe, it teaches that it was not created by any single person or being. Even the existence of gods is conditioned and dependent on causes and conditions. This view aligns with what modern science describes. So, within the Buddhist sutras, there is science. Not only science, but a complete and perfected science.
This is to help us strengthen our faith and aspiration. From now on, we will no longer harbour doubts about these commentaries, nor about the method we are currently studying. Our confidence is firm. Our aspiration is steadfast. We are determined to seek rebirth in the Pure Land in this very lifetime. What I hope even more is that all of you will truly give rise to this intention to complete this practice, to gain freedom over life and death, so that when the time comes, you may leave this world whenever you wish, without any obstacles or attachments.
统统都是众缘和合而生起的，所以佛法讲整个宇宙的来源缘起不是哪一个人创造连神的存在也是缘起的这个跟科学所讲的相应所以佛经里头有科学，不但有科学，而且有圆满的科学
Learning Buddhism is the highest enjoyment in life. It aroused our interest in learning Buddhism. This was truly wonderful and extremely rare. Therefore, I encountered Master Jangjia, a great virtuous person and a great good teacher in the Buddha's gate, one who specialized in the Buddha Dharma. So I followed him to learn. I was with teacher Fang for about half a year, but I was with Master Jangjia for 3 years. I was 26 years old when I began to follow him. At that time, he was 65 years old. He passed away at the age of 68, so I was only able to follow him for 3 years. In these 3 years, he laid the foundation for my study of Buddhism. After that, another 10 years, I left worldly work and accepted the teachings of Master Jangjia, leaving home and specially cultivating and learning the Buddha Dharma. In Buddhism, this is the great vehicle, Mahayana. This was the expectation Master Jangjia had for me.
一个真正有智慧、有觉悟的人，这称佛陀第二个学位菩萨，菩萨有觉悟、有智慧，但是没有圆满，他还在学习。对，菩萨毕业了，学圆满了，就叫佛陀还没有毕业，还没有达到圆满，称菩萨。第三个学位是阿罗汉，阿罗汉是刚刚开窍，刚开始觉悟，当然他觉悟的程度比不上菩萨阿罗汉是刚刚开悟，明白宇宙人生真相。
Choosing the practice path, truly deciding on the practice path of Pure Land cultivation, is an act of awakening inspired by the Avatamsaka Sutra, Flower Adornment Sutra. When we were young and studying the teachings, the sutra we admired the most was the Avatamsaka Sutra. This is because, among all the great Mahayana sutras, its content is the most abundant and profound. What does the Avatamsaka Sutra teach? It reveals the ultimate truth of all phenomena in the universe, the truth of all dharmas. It explains the origin of life, and the universe extends to our present moment and even speaks of our future. It encompasses all. It is a philosophy of ultimate perfection. It is a science of ultimate perfection. In both science and philosophy, it reaches the pinnacle. This has now been recognized by modern quantum physicists. In the past 2 or 3 decades, quantum physicists have made tremendous progress unveiling the mysteries of the universe. Yet all these discoveries are already contained in the Mahayana Sutras. In other words, what they have newly discovered, Shakyamuni Buddha realized over 3,000 years ago. The Buddha discovered this truth 3,000 years ago, but it has taken modern scientists 3,000 years to finally uncover it. And when we compare their findings with the teachings of the Buddha, they match perfect without the slightest discrepancy.